Hello everyone. In today's video, we're diving into China's extensive preparations to counteract any future sanctions or tariffs that might be imposed by the United States, especially as tensions around Taiwan continue to rise. The country has been preparing for this scenario for months alongside Russia. But why is this so important? How is China learning from Russia's experience under sanctions? And what does this mean for Taiwan and global geopolitics? Let's break it down. As the world continues to shift toward heightened global tensions, China has been setting up a specialized task force designed to protect its economy from potential sanctions, particularly those that might follow a military move in Taiwan. While the United States has repeatedly warned China against taking drastic steps regarding Taiwan, China is already thinking ahead. This preparation is not a reaction to an immediate crisis, but part of a long term strategy to safeguard their future. The significance of preparation in this context cannot be overstated. If you've heard the famous quote by Benjamin Franklin, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail, you'll understand why China's strategic planning is such a critical element of its success. This phrase captures the essence of China's mindset as it anticipates potential economic fallout. Look at Russia's experience as a case study. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the West imposed heavy sanctions, expecting Russia's economy to collapse within months. However, nearly 3 years later, Russia is still standing strong, and the global economic picture has evolved. Sanctions often come with severe restrictions, frozen bank accounts, trade barriers, and technology embargoes. Yet, Russia has demonstrated resilience in the face of these sanctions, and its ability to withstand pressure has shocked many observers. In fact, Russian President Vladimir Putin was remarkably ahead of the game. Back in 2018, he made a bold statement at an international summit almost inviting Western powers to impose sanctions on Russia. His message? Go ahead, pull the trigger.
Значит, вы знаете, я иногда думаю, что было бы хорошо для нас, если бы те, кто хочет вводить санкции, ввели бы все санкции, которые только можно ввести, и как можно быстрее. Это развязало бы нам руки для защиты своих национальных интересов такими средствами, которые мы считаем наиболее эффективными для нас. А вообще это очень вредно. Это вредит тем, кто это делает.
Putin saw sanctions not as a threat, but as an opportunity to prove Russia's resilience. This attitude, accepting sanctions head-on, has turned out to be an effective strategy. China is following a similar path, but they're doing it with greater foresight. While Russia endured sanctions with its existing resources and infrastructure, China is strategically planning in advance. In the last 2.5 years, China has sent numerous officials to Russia to study the impact of Western sanctions firsthand. Their task? To assess how sanctions have disrupted key industries in Russia, identify areas of vulnerability, and determine which raw materials are in short supply. China's analysis goes beyond just monitoring economic impacts. It's about understanding where the gaps are in Russia's supply chains and how to mitigate them in the future. In essence, China is learning from Russia's hardships, so it's better prepared for what could be coming its way. This preparation ties directly into the issue of Taiwan. Many experts believe that China's leadership is preparing for a scenario where it might face sanctions from the US, especially if it escalates the Taiwan situation. But China is taking proactive steps. By understanding the weaknesses and strengths of Russia's response to sanctions, China is positioning itself to weather similar storms, even if the US imposes heavy tariffs or goes all in on economic penalties. In fact, even if China's ambitions regarding Taiwan or BRICS currencies stir tensions, China is already preparing its economy to handle these sanctions, significantly lowering the impact of any sanctions the US might impose. Experts predict that if China does decide to take military action regarding Taiwan, its economic resilience will be much stronger, potentially reducing the effect of US sanctions by as much as 60 to 70%. Recently, the US has ramped up military aid to Taiwan, offering billions of dollars in assistance. This has been framed as a measure to bolster Taiwan's defense against potential Chinese aggression. However, despite these efforts, China remains resolute in its position. Military aid might strengthen Taiwan's defenses, but China's preparations and strategic planning mean that it will likely continue its course of action regardless of the US's moves. What we are witnessing right now is a generational shift in global dynamics. For decades, nations have feared the impact of sanctions, but now countries like China are embracing preparation, learning from others' mistakes, and implementing proactive strategies. With its focus on securing its economic future, China is creating a model of resilience that could dramatically shift the balance of power in the coming years. This situation is still evolving and will continue to bring you updates as these developments unfold. Stay tuned for more insights on how China's strategy will unfold and how it might reshape global relations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.